Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the physical changes. Though it is not a new concept to you, but we have to deal with this also. So you have learned in your 6th class, and in the introduction of the chapter also we mentioned about some physical changes. So by now we have learned how the chemical changes takes place. Okay, and what were the chemical changes, and we also learned about the chemical symbols, formulae, and how the reactions were written and how they were balanced. And now we are towards the end of the chapter, and this is the probably last concept, and we are going to learn in this about the physical changes. Now if I ask you what are chemical changes, in that you would say that where the chemical properties of a substance changes, okay, and those changes which are permanent changes, in which we do not get the same type of substance, in which only physical state is changing but something new is formed. Like if we talk about the spoiling of food, it's a chemical change in which the food is sour or it is spoiled, means whatever it was, it has completely changed, it has become uneatable, okay, unedible. Then if I talk about like reaction of hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, then what will happen? We will get water, which is completely different from the initial substances that we have taken, like hydrogen, combustible gas, oxygen, supporter of combustion. But water formed is state is also different, liquid state. Moreover, the chemical properties also change. Water, neither it burns nor it burns the other things. So these were the chemical changes. Now let us talk about physical changes. What are physical changes? These are the changes in which only physical properties would change and the substance would remain same chemically. Okay, like let us see the definition. The changes in which no new substances are formed are called physical changes. Fine. In this, like physical properties, they would change only, like shape or size or the state. Okay, so you need to learn 3S. These are 3S. Okay, 3S means shape, size and state. So these things changes only, nothing else. The properties which are physically visible, like size, what is the size, what is the shape, what is the state, they may only change. Let us take water. If we heat the water, it will change into gaseous state. If it condenses, those gaseous state condition, when it condenses, then what do we get? We will get liquid water. Okay. If we freeze it, solidify it, then we will get ice. Only state is changing, but the properties or the chemical properties of in 3 states, during these 3 states would remain same. Same way, if I tear a paper or if I melt the wax, then what is going to happen? Only the state will change. Like molten wax, you can say it is liquid in state, while if it is in the form of a candle, then it is in solid state. Okay, so state is changing. Same way, if this pen is broken, then also it still remains same, only the size would be broken, it's changed. Okay, so this is how we can say that if shape, size and state are changing, then we say that only physical change has taken place. So some examples from our daily use also, our daily life also we can take out, and otherwise I have written some, like melting of wax, formation of steam, then breaking of a glass. These are some examples of physical change. Now if I say that if I break this pen, okay, what would happen? You will say that it's a physical change. Okay, but can you again get a pen of same size, same shape or same whatever it appears now? No, you won't get. Okay, you may try to stick it with some sticky substance, glue, etc. But the thing is that it will appear to be, but it is not exactly what it is right now. Okay, so these physical changes, they can be of two types. Physical changes, though they are temporary changes, but they are of two types, and they can be physical changes. I am writing PC, may be of two types. Okay, what are they? It can be reversible. It can be reversible, as we have learned earlier also, reversible change, or irreversible. Okay, it can be either reversible change or it can be irreversible change. Now, let us take some examples of reversible change. Let me write here. Reversible change. Do you have any idea in your mind? Any guess? Which change can be called as reversible change? Let us take an example. If I dissolve sugar in water, what do you think? You are again going to get the sugar back or not? Yes, you will get it back. If sugar is dissolved in water and you completely stir it, it gets vanished. Means it is not seen. It means it has disappeared. So where it has gone? How to get it back? What we can do? We can evaporate the water. We will boil the water and we will create such type of conditions in which the water is, because water is volatile. Volatile means it disappears. It becomes gaseous in state, converts gaseous in state. So what will happen now? The water being volatile will get evaporated and we will get the sugar back. So such type of example is reversible change. Okay, so if I write here, the dissolving of sugar in water. Okay, dissolving of sugar in water is a reversible change. So you can be asked in the exam, what are reversible changes? Give some examples. Okay, so we can again get back what? We can again get back sugar by evaporation. Okay, evaporating the water. Evaporating the water. So such type of change is known as reversible change. Okay. Now on the other hand, if I take a piece of paper, okay, and I keep on tearing it, and in very small bits, or I shred it. Okay, shredding means to again make it into smaller pieces. So if I shred it or tear it into pieces, bits of paper, so what do you think is going to happen? Can you easily regain that sheet of paper from those pieces of paper or shredded paper? You can't. So such type of change in which you cannot get back the same, whatever the object looked like, you cannot get back that particular state, then we say it is an irreversible physical change. Remember, irreversible physical change, because chemical changes are also irreversible changes. So you need to mention irreversible physical change. So what will be the change for irreversible change? Like shredding of a sheet of a paper of a paper sheet. Okay, this is an irreversible change. So some more examples can be taken, like if a toy is broken, though only size has been changed, but maybe that you won't get it back again. You are going to make it, you are going to join it with the help of some glue or some sticky substance, but you are not going to get the same, exactly same what it used to be. So these are the examples of irreversible changes. Okay. Now, in this series only we are going to learn about one more concept, and that concept is called crystallization. Okay, we are going to learn about crystallization. You know what is crystallization? Crystallization is a technique in which the substance or the solid which is dissolved in a liquid is separated from it in the form of crystals. Okay, like you might have heard about how the salt is produced. I hope you know how salt is produced. How do we get salt? You might have learnt, or you might have read or seen somewhere in the documentary films, or you might have seen in the books, etc. What is done? The seawater is collected and it is left to be evaporated. Okay, because it is left in the open, so sunlight is falling. So what will happen? Due to the heat of the sun, the water gets evaporated. As we learned right now that water is volatile. Okay, it becomes gaseous when it is subjected to heat. Okay, it comes into gaseous state or in the vapor state. So when this water is evaporated, then what happens? We get the crystals of salt. Okay, so this is how the crystallization is done. Okay. That is evaporation. But crystallization is again, in this what do we get? We get the crystals which are the solid form of a compound in which atoms are arranged in a definite geometrical shape. Okay, so these crystals, they will be formed only and only of same type of substance. Means if impurities are there, then they won't form. For example, let us take the case of sugar and salt. Both are dissolved in water. Nowadays it's hot and you will be asked to prepare lemonade or shikanji. In that you put maximum sugar and very little salt. So if somebody says that you have to remove them, then what you are going to do? You will take the help of crystallization. So you will get separated water, salt and sugar. The one which is in the large quantity can be taken out in the form of crystals. Means we keep on heating it, and a time will come when this supersaturated solution of the salt will get converted into crystals of the salt. Okay, so the technique that we are going to learn here is crystallization. 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 Okay, first you need to know about the meaning of crystals. Definition of crystals. What are crystals? Now, a crystal is the solid. It is the solid form of a compound. It is the solid form of a compound in which the atoms are arranged. The atoms are arranged in a definite shape. See, the arrangement can be cubical, it can be cuboidal, it can be tetrahedral, it can be anyhow. Like they can be arranged like this. These corners can be the atoms, these particular points. Okay, so this is also a shape of it can be the shape of the crystal. Fine. In this way it can be arranged, or it can be like, you might have learnt about the crystal, the shape of the snowflakes, how beautiful it is. So that is also a form of crystallization, but it is not the crystal actually. Okay, so it can be like this also. This also can be the shape of a crystal. Okay, So these are various cuboidal, this is cuboidal, this is tetrahedral, then it can be like cubical in the form of a rectangle, 3D shape of rectangle. So this is also the shape of a crystal. So these are the different shapes of the crystals. Okay. So what is crystallization now? This I have told you so that you can come to know that what do we mean by crystals? What are the arrangement of the atoms in a particular geometrical shape? Right. Forgot this. Definite geometrical shape means they form, the arrangement of the atoms is in such a way that they form a particular geometrical shape. So what is crystallization now? Crystallization is a technique or is a method, okay, by which a solid dissolved in a liquid is separated from it in the form of crystals. Okay, means it is a technique or it's a method by which it is a method by which a solid dissolved in a liquid is separated in the form of crystals. Okay, so it's a physical change, and this crystallization is a physical change. What kind of change? Physical change. Fine. Now, most common example is salt, which is obtained from the seawater. Salt is the most common example of crystallization technique. It is obtained from the seawater by the process of crystallization. Okay, seawater contains large amount of common salt, that is sodium chloride, NaCl, that we use in our cooking and all in our kitchen. So some more impurities are there, but when we evaporate, then these atoms of or the compounds NaCl, they do what? That they arrange themselves and make crystals. Okay, now these are done how? That they are collected in a large pit. It's a just like open pits are there. In that, water is collected, and that water collected is subjected to heat of the sunlight. So when sun's heat falls on this collected water, what happens? The water evaporates and leaves behind the solid salt. Now this salt is impure. So what is done? It is sent to the refineries. Okay, and over there purification is done with the help of crystallization. So what will happen? The impurities that are present with because evaporation took place there, not crystallization. So now they are going to do what? That only amount, that salt that has been evaporated from the seawater is allowed to dissolve in water, and other impurities will also dissolve, and this a super saturated solution of impure salt is formed. Super saturated means what? Like if we take a glass of water and put 1 tablespoon of sugar in it or salt in it and keep on stirring, a time will come when no more salt will dissolve in that glass of water. So what we will do? We will again put 1 more spoon of the salt and then again stir, 1 more spoon of salt, and then again stirring will take place. So in this way what will happen? A time will come when no more salt will be dissolved in it. Okay, so such type of water, that solution of salt and water, is known as what? Super saturated solution. Super saturated solution. Now this impure salt is left for evaporation. Okay. Now when it is heated, not evaporation, but we heat it. Now what will happen? That will be left for cooling down. Now when it cools down, then what happens? It remains, it leaves behind the residue which contains impurities, and only salt is formed in the form of crystals, and in this way we can get the crystals from the dried salt. Okay, so this way whatever we get, the crystals, these are the pure form of the salt. This is the pure form of the salt. So like this we obtain the salt from the method of crystallization. So today we learnt about crystallization technique. So you need to define them, write about the process of formation of salt from the evaporation and crystallization method.